you guys, it's Britt. Tonight we're here to talk about the Dad Challenge podcast, once again covering Elle Darby. And this video specifically I wanted to react to because a lot of the things that he says could apply directly to him. And I'm sure that there's bits and pieces in a lot of his videos that could be said for the same thing. But a lot of what he says in this video should be applied to himself because of things that he has said and done. So I want to react to it with you. I will say what I say all the time. If you're a Dad Challenge podcast fan as of this point, that's great. Good for you. But as commentary channels, when we have someone who is this toxic, this rude, this abrasive, this hypocritical, this distasteful, and you have a platform where literal harassment and hate is being spread every single video that he uploads, as commentary channels, I'm not going to say there's a responsibility, but there's definitely a right to give commentary on it. And it doesn't matter if you supported this person once, if you supported them for a little while, if you never supported them at all. That's part of being unbiased and recognizing things for what they are at face value. And at this point, I think Dad Challenge podcast is a hypocritical, misogynist bully. I think he's relying on the internet's short-term memory, and he's probably hoping that commentary channels will die down and get bored of talking about him. But I also know about the internet's short-term memory, and that's why I'm making this video. So if you're interested in hearing my thoughts, please keep watching. Guys, FYI, I do have his videos sped up just a little bit because I don't want to keep you guys here for a whole hour. I really hope this video is not a whole hour. I'm going to try to really hit on the important points. And part of that, to save time, is to speed up his video just a little bit. So let's get started.
We're snarking on Elle Darby because she deserves it. Ellie, I don't know if you heard, but you're canceled for being uber racist, you and your soon-to-be husband. But since my last video where she came back and said, oh, it's all good, and she was super shiny and her face looked like it was full of something or other, margarine basically is what it looked like,
he's unable to focus on the issue at hand. He is unable. I've never seen someone who can literally just have such an incapability to be mature and have a logical conversation. And I want to go over something with you guys super quick. What he's doing is not snarking. Has he said some snarky comments sporadically? He has. But what he's done with Elle Darby, what he's done with Brianna K and Love Meg and Micah and Jess Fam, and a lot of the people that he's covered is not snark. What snark actually is, the actual definition, is a combination of snide and remark. Sarcastic comments, also snarky. An example is, your boundless ineptitude is astounding. So the whole idea of snark is not to just give the most untasteful and gross insults to someone. That's not being snarky. That doesn't take any amount of intelligence, because that's what kids on the schoolyard do to each other. Oh, you're ugly. Oh, your face is greasy. Oh, you're you know, he's gone down the fat shaming rabbit hole with the Moss dad. What is it, Asa Moss or whatever?
Tryouts.
Maybe you should conduct yourself to a gym, start running.
This is someone who wants his fans and people that take in his content to believe what he says. And if they don't know what snarking really is, they'll just say, oh, yeah, he snarks on people. What he's doing is not snarking on people. He's bullying them and he's insulting them. There has only been a couple of occasions where I've seen him actually deliver snark, and it's been great, but he could not stick to it, and that's why it only happened a couple of times from my memory. He's veiling insults as snark, and that's just not it. So let's just cut the shit. Let's stop saying snark and let's just say bullying or insulting people. Before we get too far into this video, I'm going to roll a quick clip for you guys from his former podcast with Cece Suarez, where he really showed everyone that he is racist. So when we're talking about Elle Darby making tweets and things like that, I think when she was in between 16 and 17 years old, let's also talk about him making racist remarks on a podcast when he was what, 38? So, you know, if we're going to call a spade, let's do that. But let's also not just say, oh, you're canceled. You need to be canceled. You need to go away because you're racist, when he, in fact, has shown everyone that he is racist as well. So you're canceled too, Josh. Roll the clip.
It was dumb because we got lost in downtown Detroit. Don't ever get lost as white people downtown Detroit, okay? White
I mean,
boys.
as anyone, really.
As anyone, don't. And these guys pull up in this giant Tahoe or this big giant black, I don't know what it was, Escalade or something, roll down their window and look at us and they say, what are you listening to? We roll up our window and the highway was right at the next exit. We hopped on the highway and took off. We were like, I don't even know. And I don't even know. That was scary because we don't know anything because we're from Canada, man. We don't have that kind of. Just thinks that it's on, and she just her dislike's insane, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. So we left off with her being weird and shiny, and then we're gonna continue on with her being weird and shiny. But let's see how she got her sparkle back. Let's see what happened in the 6 months off. Maybe she's gonna talk about how she made things right, possibly. I don't know. I doubt it. You didn't lose your sparkle. You didn't have sparkle to begin with. You're always been kind of gross, but you don't just get to do these videos. This isn't like how to come back from being cancelled.
Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is a very happy moment for me.
It's like, you know, your kid, you suck your.
Why, like, what is this? Can someone, because I know that a couple of his stands will find this video, they always do, in the comments, leave me a comment. Honestly, this is honestly me asking, what is the value of him absolutely just dragging people to the degree that he does? What is the value in that? Because I understand accountability culture, and I understand, you know, let's not give racists a platform. Let's not give people that are homophobic a platform. I fully understand that. But if we're here to have a logical conversation about not giving bad people platforms online and holding them accountable, what is the value in him making this face like he's a 2-year-old and making fun of the way her skin looks, the fact that she's oily, what kind of cosmetic procedures she's had done, you know, everything about her physical appearance? Like, what is the value in that? Because obviously some people found it funny. This video has 867 likes. And if you're gonna say that it's just because she put out disgusting tweets when she was 16, 17 years old, how does that apply to Josh being a 38, you know, guy in his late 30s saying that he was afraid of black people in Detroit? How do those two coexist? You like one and you don't like the other? Because that's completely senseless. If we're going to say that we don't like racism, which is a really great rule to live by, then both of them should be canceled.
Mouth into a cup and you smig your lips. She looks like that guy from Monsters Inc.
I'm so ready.
You need to chill. How do you even eat?
To be filming this video, and it's a video I've been thinking about for a very, 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 very long time.
Got it. There.
I can't wait for his channel to crash and burn. And I never say that about people, but honestly, the amount of hate and toxicity and gross commentary and just immaturity and exploitation that he has done himself by, quote, snarking on people, I feel shame that I ever supported his message. Because now, hindsight being 2020, I can see that all he was doing was standing on a message that a lot of people could get behind. I don't think that he ever really gave a shit. I think that he saw the views that he got off using Micah and just kept going. Do I think that maybe initially he was like, oh, wow, like that's a really sad situation, let me do a video? I do, but I think that went out the door very quickly after probably his first or second video. And then the exploitation started and he just went off the wall, and he's built his channel. I think he has 128,000 subscribers right now. Of course, that number is allegedly because he only got 15,000 views on this video, which is embarrassing for a channel of 128,000 subscribers. I know that sometimes my videos don't get really high views either, but I still have a very small channel. Once you hit that 100,000 subscriber kind of threshold, that's kind of when you would expect some sort of normalcy as far as what views you can get on somewhat of a consistent basis. As long as you're not, doing anything wild and crazy. If you're sticking in kind of your niche, and if your niche is commentary, then you should be able to you should know somewhat what kind of views you're going to get. So 15,000 views and the video has been up for 4 days. That's appalling, but maybe people are also checking out.
A long time.
Because in all honesty, how I got my sparkle back, how I got happiness again, how I built from rock bottom is a roadmap I would have absolutely loved to have.
It's very telling that their rock bottom is just not making money on the internet. That's their rock bottom. You made your rock bottom. And you're still there, by the way. You and your husband, to-be, just need to chill. Go leave.
I think that her rock bottom, what she's saying is, and I could be wrong on this, but when you're exposed as a racist and the entire internet is out to cancel you, I would feel like that could be a rock bottom for me too, because of the nasty messages and just people wanting you to harm yourself and, go away forever and never come back and those kinds of things. I would say that that could be considered a rock bottom for sure. And am I saying that she deserved to have death threats or tell people, have people tell her to do bad things? No, absolutely not. I think that most people just wanted some accountability and they were outraged by the things that were exposed. But yeah, I would say that maybe a percentage of the things that she was getting sent her way, she can consider that her rock bottom. What did she do to come back from it? Is she going to repeat the same things? When we're talking about her tweets, we're talking about the period of time from 2011 through early 2012, and she was born in December 1995. She would have been 16 to 17 years old. Now, there were some people who they were trying to say that she was in her 20s or like 19 or 20 when this happened. The majority of the tweets that I saw and the tweets that Josh was citing in his video were from 2011, and I've also seen a couple from early 2012. So that means that she was 16 to 17 years old. And I just want people to keep that in mind because it's absolutely not an excuse. Never. So I just wanted to clarify that because, again, there were some people saying that she was 20 when she was tweeting stuff like that. The tweets that I saw and the main focus of the conversation were the ones from 2011 to 2012, which means that she would have been 16 to 17 years old. So I just wanted to throw that in this video as well, just to clear up any confusion for anyone that was confused.
Leave.
A few months ago.
You don't even go here.
Actually, at a few other different points in my life. When I am down, I'm a very methodical person. At certain points,
Her necklace says Saint on it.
That's her child. That's her kid's name.
You really sound like you're sorry about what you did. You have a necklace calling yourself a saint. A saint. Is that an S? A saint. Sorry, muscles. I want to show off my muscle shirt.
through my life.
Ew, he gets so outraged, and literally this is a reminder. He's done a few videos on Elle Darby now, and he doesn't even know that her child's name is Saint. That doesn't take but 2 seconds to actually research. Dude, you're doing fucking YouTube basically full-time at this point. You have your nephew helping you edit content. You're playing pickleball for 4 fucking hours a day, probably hanging out in the treehouse with your friend Mark. And you can't do an ounce of fucking research on these people that you're fucking bullying. He's an embarrassment. His channel is going to crash and burn, and it's going to be so fucking ugly. Trust me.
You know, I find myself sitting there, and this is when I know I have reached the bottom of the bottom.
Here, I'll show you the bottom. Let's look at her freaking view counts here for a second. Her dislike meter, which she says coming back, has 365,000 views, by the way. Unbelievable that the people gave her those views. I'm not going to, but how do you get out of here? Okay, so this one has, here, I'll show you, just so you believe me, okay? If you can see that. 44,000 downvotes, 23,000 upvotes. Insane.
And I sit down and like, how am I actually gonna survive this? Like, how am I actually
gonna survive your crazy racism and shit and fat phobia and all that stuff? How are you gonna survive it?
And he's fat phobic too. So let's always make sure that if we're calling someone else fat phobic and saying that they should be canceled for it, maybe make sure that you're not fat phobic, Josh. And if you're gonna say that someone being racist, they should be canceled, bravo, I agree. But let's make sure that we're not racist, because then you're just proving again that you're the biggest fucking hypocrite within the commentary genre on YouTube. That's why people call you the Canadian clown. That's why people call you a fucking joke. And this is why other commentary channels talk about you. And this is why people are leaving your channel at, you know, what I think is an alarming rate. There's no reason why someone that's been on the incline for so long should quickly be on the decline unless their content has become an absolute shit show and there's other things that are being exposed about you that are making people no longer want to support you.
Not. You shouldn't anyway, but maybe she will. How are you gonna survive it is you're gonna ignore it, is what you're gonna do.
You're gonna wake up, go again. Like, I need a roadmap.
Just like he ignores everything said about him. Where is the accountability? Where's the fucking accountability for him showing a young girl's crotch on his channel? And with this issue, he not only showed it, he paused it, he zoomed in on it, and it took him days to go back and sort of blur it. He didn't really even blur it. It was not a very good blur added to the video. It looked like shit. And instead of taking some accountability and saying, you know what, I should not have done that. If I'm really for the exploitation of children and I'm here to stop it and increase the conversation about, you know, kids being used for content online, then that video should have been taken down, because it did not do anything good, let's be honest, by continuing to show these kids in compromising positions. That is not what an advocate does, period. And specifically that one part of the video, he did this crappy blur so that he wouldn't lose the views and the monetization that he would make off of that video. Instead of saying, I was wrong, I took down the video, I'm sorry guys, here's my apology, you know, so on and so forth, he was fucking arguing with people in the comments section. You will be your own demise. You absolutely will be if you handle it the way that he does.
I need a to-do list.
Here's a roadmap. Chill on the lips.
Plan. I need somebody.
Like, that's insane. Okay, I'm sorry. That's too much.
To just plan.
A part of me almost thinks, and this is pure speculation, the amount that he focuses on people like Kendall Rich and Elle Darby with the lip injections and the Botox, it kind of makes me think that maybe he wants his wife to use some of these like beauty enhancements, because there's no reason why someone should talk about it as often as he does. Not as a man, you know, you're a married guy. Like, why are you so focused on the way that someone looks? It's a little weird. And again, that's just pure speculation, but I've never heard anyone focus on someone else's lip injections as often as he does.
Tomorrow, and the day after that, and then the rest of my life. It's honestly what it feels like when you feel like you're done. If you find yourself at rock bottom, if you feel like you're just not happy right now and there's something in your life that needs to give, first of all, I want to say.
And this is someone making faces like a 5-year-old who wants to be taken seriously, who claims that he is against the exploitation of kids and his content is for the voiceless children and whatever other bullshit he says. You're a bullshit ass liar, Josh. To use your own terminology, you're a bullshit ass liar. And people are starting to see it more and more, and I'm here for it.
You need to know that things are going to get better. You need to know you are so loved.
No, you're not. You don't deserve to be either. You hate people, weirdo.
So many people.
And you hate people too. So you're undeserving of love, Josh. How harsh does that sound? To say she hates people, so she doesn't deserve love. I think that she deserves to be held accountable. I want to see change in people. I want to see people do better. I want to see people take some accountability for their words, their actions, whatever it is that they've done, even if it was years ago. Own up to it, show some growth, show some, take some accountability, and show change. But instead, he wants to say that she's undeserving of love and should be canceled and go away and never come back. So if we're, again, going to focus on the issue that she put out racist tweets and showed that she is a racist, then the same applies to Josh. Listen to what he said on that podcast. He's scared of black people. We don't have those in Canada. What are those, Josh? Tahoes? Black people? Escalades? What do you not have in Canada? You're ignorant and you're disgusting.
In this world that adore you. You have no idea the amount of amazing days you have left to live. There are days in your future.
Okay, with the quotes and shit that don't mean anything, you've like the depth of a penny.
Where you are going to stand there and you're going to think, I did that.
Did what? You were racist?
Got through that, laughing with my
You didn't. No, you didn't.
And I'm, walking my dog.
Although, yeah, she's still making bank. 330,000 views? Holy shit, that's a lot of views.
It makes me really happy.
Here's how you're going to tell the benchmark of cancellation, though, right? As she goes forward and people kind of forget about her and all that kind of stuff, it's going to be really interesting to see her view counts after this whole thing is lulled down, right? It's going to be, it used to be hundreds and hundreds of thousands. You're going to see it at like 10, 20, 30,000 eventually. That's full-blown cancellation. They're not making as much, nor will they ever make as much as they were before. They're never going to get another brand sponsorship because everybody who hates her for being who she was will always reach out to the brand sponsors and say, how dare you sponsor a racist? That's what's going to happen. She'll never see it again. She's going to have to live within her means now. Hopefully that works for you, Ellie.
Whatever it is.
So it's really interesting that he mentioned brand sponsorships because I actually had a subscriber contact me because of his Skillshare sponsorship that he had, and this has been being shared on Twitter, and I think I saw YouTube short sharing it as well. Don't hold me to that. But because of the way that he's acted and the way that he has mishandled his platform and put out really distasteful and gross content, people heard about his Skillshare sponsorship and they contacted Skillshare. So when you're constantly encouraging people to reach out to brand sponsors and all of this kind of stuff, but you're being a shithead too, be careful what you wish for, because that's exactly what happened. And Skillshare confirmed that they ended their partnership with him in May, and they are no longer going to work with him in the future as well. Josh has been added to somewhat of a blacklist for Skillshare, and that's a huge sponsor to have as a YouTuber. I've never used Skillshare, but I know that there's a lot of YouTubers that have worked with them and advertised for them. So be careful what you wish for. Be careful. Be very careful when you're being an asshole, but you're, telling other people how terrible they are, but you're actually just as terrible.
Whatever it is, there are so many more of those moments to come. So no matter how bottom of rock bottom, this moment, this day.
You're the only one here with the rock bottom moment, okay? Stop saying anybody else. Nobody goes through this because nobody's as stupid as you.
This week, this month feels like for you.
Elle might be stupid, but Josh's day just hasn't come. His day is going to come where he might feel like it is one of his rock bottoms, because eventually when you're this toxic and you're this problematic online, it might take some time for people to come around and uncover what they need to uncover about you. But once that day happens, he might feel like he's at his rock bottom. And I do believe that day is going to come. As I said, I think over the last year, we've seen him go on such a decline in between the way that he delivers videos, in between the things that he's willing to say, some of the stuff that has been exposed that's been going on the back end, some of the people that he is closely aligned with and associated with, all of these things, and it's all sort of snowballing, and I do believe that it will come to a very horrendous end.
The journey of life is that there are ebbs and flows. You might be in an ebb, but the beauty of life is that you can come back up again. You are
If you do this.
amazing and you deserve happiness and you deserve to get through
Is
this.
she talking to herself? Is that what's going on here? Is she like doing some like mantra like, I'm going to manifest my cancellation into oblivion, into the paper shredder?
So, you know what? That's what I'm here to help you do. I wanted to make this video, first of all, obviously to help anybody else out there
You wanted to make this video to make money, don't lie.
who needs to hear this. Also, maybe for me in the future, if I ever get to rock
And you make all your videos to make money. We saw through your bullshit, you know, message that you stood on for a long time. Everything that he does is to make money. His videos, the merch, the memberships, the Patreon, the Ko-Fi, the sketchy GoFundMes, that's a whole nother conversation. The exploitation of Gabby Petito. I told you guys, listen, I told you guys that he was a fucking liar. And I did not say that for no reason. All the truth comes to light eventually. Always remember that.
bottom again, because like I just said, life is kind of all about that journey. Nothing is permanent, unfortunately, including happiness. So I feel like the more you become comfortable with the expectation
What are you saying? There's just words and shit. It's words. Nothing has made sense yet.
of life to not always be rainbows and butterflies, the easier those sad moments can feel. So first of all, I feel like a really important place to start is just trusting the universe.
Okay, I was gonna say breathe. Faith. Faith.
Trusting yourself, trusting God, trusting whatever it is that you believe in. Trust.
And trust them nails when you wipe your ass. That's what I'm saying. Wash the underneath of your nails after you wipe your ass. Because there's some poop in there. There's poop in your nails. I don't care what anybody says. I don't know how you do it with those nails.
That they have a plan for you. This is happening for
Why? Are we 5? Are we 5? Is this the type of bullshit that's delivered and people giggle and laugh? Ew. Here's what should have happened. Elle should have made her last video short, concise, and told people exactly the work that she did to educate herself and delivered a plan as to why nothing like that was ever going to happen again, and given an apology to the people that she affected by putting out those tweets. And then she should have moved on to other content. If the other video was easier to follow, more concise, had a really good apology in it, I think that people would be, not him, because he's just a fucking lost cause, but I think more people would have kind of been like, okay, let's just see where she goes. She gave a really good apology and told us what she did during her time off to educate herself. But the last video was not that, so people, not including him, are going to still be more critical of her because we still don't have a good apology, what she did during her break, or what she's going to do to make sure this never happens again.
day and be able to see all of the lessons that you learned from this hard time in your life. It may not feel like it right now, because I know when you feel
She's talking to herself, everybody. This is it. She's trying to, like, in a weird way, make it about her audience, but this is all about her.
so down, it never seems like a point. It literally feels pointless. It's like, why do I feel this? Like, there is nothing to gain.
So step 1 to get her sparkle back, faith. But could be any kind of faith or anything.
Feeling like this. Ultimately, this is going to put you back on the path that you were always supposed to be on. This is
Your
going
faith is? What?
to shape you into that person that you're supposed
Well, faith for her is probably something religious. I don't know. Again, I think that there are bigger fish to fry when it comes to trying to show people that you're not a piece of shit.
to be this time next year, in 5 years, in 10 years. If you imagine the best version of yourself, it does take pain and hardships to get to that point, because without the pain and the hardships, we don't know.
What does this have to do with faith? Your first damn bullet point, faith. Nothing to do with faith.
I feel like when you accept that and you trust in that, it takes a lot of pressure off of a timeline of wanting to be happy.
What
Timeline of
are you
wanting to be
saying?
emotions. It just gets rid of all of that pressure. Let it be. And know that better days are coming. Learning something
Okay, first step, faith, but had nothing. She said shit, nothing to do with faith whatsoever. She said,
Learning should have been number 1. Educating yourself on why you shouldn't be a racist. That should have been number 1, should have been the first thing said in this video. This is how I've learned, this is how I've educated myself. Should have been number 1.
faith, whatever you believe in. And then she just made some shit up. Cool, got it.
taking up a new hobby, reading a book, just learn something new. Just do something new with your time other than
You don't read, you damned liar.
sitting on your phone and scrolling
Chapter 2, huge ass lips that don't work properly.
through social media. There is so much that this world can offer you. There are so many skills that you can learn. There are so many things that you can get better at.
No, the learning part, and I'm ignoring his gross comments because I feel like I'm just going to turn into a broken record. He's gross and immature. But as far as her learning, what this should have been is learning about other cultures, learning about how your words affect other people, Josh could use a lesson in that as well. I'm going to do a video coming up on Jesse James Decker where she really opened up about some of the toxicity and hate that she's been receiving online. And I think that it really encapsulates how commentary channels, drama channels, and even people that are just on like Reddit or other forums, words matter. And just because we're talking about public figures or influencers, your words still matter to other people. And it might not even be the person you're talking about. It could just be someone that comes across your video or your comment. And I think that it really, it's a really important post that she put out. And I want to relate that back to doing commentary on YouTube. But the reading and the education part of this should have been her educating herself on why to not be a racist. That's all she had to say.
I was even listening to a podcast the other day where the guy on the podcast was talking about a listening test to see how good of a listener you are.
Sorry, excuse me, I didn't hear what you're saying. I would fail that test. My wife sometimes talks to me and she's like, did you hear anything I said? I'm like, of course. I didn't hear anything you just said at all.
I feel like even if you're smartest cookie in the box, I feel like, yeah, but have you taken a listening test though?
Smartest cookie in the box. Yep.
It doesn't have to be something.
You notice how instead of actually giving her criticism, he's just like picking apart like the dumbest parts of this video and just slamming her for the way that she looks. Instead of giving a resolution that should have happened, he's just talking about her lips and making fun of her accent, her necklace. You guys, what's the value in this? What is the value? It's not even funny.
Extreme is learning to drive or learning a new language or learning how to garden.
Extreme is learning to drive.
Is on my to-do list. It could be something as simple.
You had 6 months and all you did was nothing? Cool.
Was learning.
So she's admitting here she didn't do shit. That planting plants was on her to-do list.
To breathe deeper, learning to meditate,
yeah, okay.
learning to be more present.
What's that to do with learning?
Learning to knit or do yoga, anything, paint a picture. Like there are so many things that you probably don't know.
Learn to calm down on the shit in your face. Because you're young, by the time you get to be like old, you're gonna look like this. And people are gonna be like, oh my God, are you okay? That's what's gonna happen.
To do that would really make you feel a lot.
You ever seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Why is what she's doing to her face any of your goddamn business? That's what I want to know. I have said, and I will repeat it for anyone who's just coming across this video and you don't know kind of what I've talked about. Here's my thing with fillers, or any of these like, you know, ponytail facelifts and nose jobs or whatever it is. If that's what you want to do, bravo. I'm here for it. I'm here for self-esteem. I'm here for building confidence. And if that means getting some lip filler or getting a brow lift or whatever, I'm always here for it. But if you're going to go get lip filler and then you're going to say, oh, well, my lips are plump because I'm overlining and I'm using this new product that just came out, that's a problem. Don't use cosmetic procedures to falsely advertise. Don't go get liposuction and then say that it's actually from a detox tea or some kind of fitness plan that you're rolling out next month. That's always been my stance on it. Don't use plastic surgery or cosmetic procedures to falsely advertise for products. That's pretty simple to avoid, maybe not for everyone, but why does it matter what she's doing? Who cares?
That's all I'm saying.
So I feel like as well if you're at rock bottom and you feel like it's too late for me to start again, learning something new literally proves.
So why don't you say 9 ways you got your sparkle back, okay? What did you learn then? In point 2, what was the thing that you learned that gave you your sparkle back? You're telling us you got your sparkle back. That's what you're saying here. That's your baseline. So the first one was faith. And you didn't say what your faith did for your sparkle. Cool, got it. Number 2, learning. You didn't say what you learned. You just said, I want to plant some shit later. That's on my list. So 2, you got your sparkle back. Still didn't tell us how you got your sparkle back.
You can start again. It's never too late. It's never too late to learn something new, to be a better person, to grow, to develop, to change. So spend your time wisely. Don't just spend it sitting, watching TV.
Which is what you did. Your shit ass went on vacation.
Take your mind off of what was going on. The next one is really important to me and it's definitely something that I am taking into routine, my schedule.
Okay, she's saying she's taking it into routine.
Since I come back online. That is taking time off your phone, taking time off social media, kind of leading on from the last.
That's your whole life.
Josh, what did you do to educate yourself after you were exposed for being a fucking racist? You didn't do anything. You ignored it, even though many people have brought it up. You still choose to ignore it. So what's next? Do we need to just cancel you? Do we need to bully you? Do we need to make fun of the way that you look, make fun of your hairline, make fun of anything that there is to make fun of you for, to get your attention? What did you do to educate yourself about why being a racist is a really, really bad way to live your life.
point. Cannot actually emphasize enough to you how eye-opening it was for me to have 6 months completely off the internet.
Liar. You got called out on your shit and you're telling us you just turned off the internet and you're like, okay, I don't see it.
If she did actually take some time off social media, I think that's great. And I don't know what she's going to do going forward. Obviously, she still has a lot of work to do. And I don't think that she's educated herself or learned anything during this period of time off. But if she's going to go forward and take more time off social media and not constantly be glued to her phone, I would say that's positive. Do I think that it does anything for her being racist? No. But maybe it would give her a different perspective on, you know, screen time and how much time we spend on social media and that kind of stuff. It's a plus, but it's definitely not any part of a solution as to why she got canceled.
It's not there. It's not there, I promise.
Like, I needed the realization that the online world and the real world and where my value lies in both of those things are completely separate.
Oh, I see what you're trying to do there. I gotcha. So you're saying, hey, online isn't real, everybody. All the racism shit, that's just jokes. It's not real. They're completely separate, except every bit of money I make and all the things that I do are online. It's real, though, when the money comes in your pocket, eh? Is that real money that you're getting for being a douche? That's real money, though. Come on. She's trying to show everybody she has friends. That's a little tiny projector.
In the numbers, in the followers, in the likes.
Your friends hate you. Look at the stain on this one. Are these bridesmaids? That's happening? Look at this one. She's like, I hate her. Racist douche face bucket. Look at her lips in this picture. They have not been exploded. What happened?
So if her friend hates her for being racist, does that mean that your friend Mark hates you for being racist? Just asking.
In the views, you're not careful, you're left in the real world feeling like you've got nothing in the online world. So for me, at least, I haven't quite figured out the
I should say taint. Because rhymes with saint, and it's the taint.
exact balance yet. Know that I definitely want to incorporate at least one full week every month, or maybe every 2 months, with literally my social media apps deleted. Like,
Okay.
yeah, I'm not on my
That's how you make money, wanker.
phone, therapy, or
therapy.
talking to somebody if you can't have access to therapy or you don't want to talk about how you're feeling. There are so many people in this world who love you more.
I'm just going to skip to the points. Why don't you just answer the allegations?
This one could use some therapy, that's for damn sure. And I'm not a professional, but just someone using some common sense.
Say what you did to correct them, and to this day, she's not done shit. She just took 6 months off. Like, that was going to do it.
It's going to make you feel like you can talk through these feelings. I'm only ever a DM away if any of you need to talk to somebody. But
Oh, are you? Okay, I'll DM you. Shit ass. Head.
genuinely for me, having
Well, see, the problem is if Josh DM'd her and she gave him the attention that he's seeking, then he would stop talking about her. Just like he's cozy with Aaron Williams, who, by the way, is also a racist. So those two are cozy behind the scenes. That's why Josh never talks about Aaron Williams. Do you know all the shit that Aaron Williams has done while online, going all the way back to Big Brother? And he's been radio silent. And it's because they're, you know, comfy cozy behind the scenes. That is a problem. That is a biased commentary channel.
professional help has been such a life-changing move.
Why is her lips not big and bulky here, but they are on the video?
Key points in my life where I tried
Oh, they are. Sorry, they are. They still have lip gloss on them.
therapy, and about 5 or 6 times
Why the fuck does it matter? Who cares?
it just didn't work for me. It just didn't feel like right. I didn't feel like I was getting anywhere with it. It felt like, why am I going to
Did you film your therapy session? Okay.
shut myself in a room on a Tuesday afternoon and talk about my feelings and make myself sad when the rest of my day is going completely fine? Why would I do that? Actually, I found when I had the resistance to it, that's probably when I needed it the most. Like, now I'm like, I can't wait to tell my therapist about that on Tuesday afternoon. Looking forward to seeing what the deeper meaning behind that emotion was for me, telling them how my week has gone.
Holy shit, we know what therapy
I
is.
just feel like the hardest step to pull yourself out of that, because that is what feels so comfortable.
Well, see, the whole thing is, though, is if she didn't go to therapy, then she would be a bad person for not going to therapy. She did go to therapy, and that's not good enough. I hope that there were conversations that happened between her and her therapist behind the scenes that helped her look at herself from an outsider's point of view. I don't know, and we'll never know unless she shares that with us, but I hope that that was part of it, to increase a little bit of her self-awareness as to, oh, okay, that's why people are mad at me. It's not good to be a racist person, ever.
Is where your body
Looking after your body. You don't get to say this, and I know people will come after me for this, but I don't care. If you literally augment your body with surgery, like to make it look like something it's not, you don't get to be like, look after your body, because you don't either. You liar. Injecting that shit into your face and your ass and your boobs and everything else is not looking after your body, everybody. I'm telling you.
Okay, just because she has some lip injections does not mean that she's had anything else injected into her boobs and her butt. And even if she did, this is none of your business. If she wants to do that, let her fucking do it. Who cares? Don't falsely advertise products with it. That's, again, the stance that I've made very clear. But yes, like, he had surgery done to lose weight, and I know that he's gonna say it and other people will say it too. Oh, that was to save his life. Josh also talked about how him having that surgery helped, it helped his self-esteem. Women would look at him, which, by the way, why do you want women's attention when you're married? You know, it helped his confidence. People took him seriously, all this kind of stuff. So that was not strictly to save his life. It was not, in my opinion, strictly to save his life. It was to jumpstart his weight loss journey.
I'm telling you, there's negative ramifications for the long-term future of your skin and everything for that. It's a short-term looking thing, which also looks stupid, for a long-term sagalicious craziness. Have you ever seen women who have gotten surgery their entire lives, what they look like now?
So you think it looks stupid? Who cares about your opinion? Your opinion lost its value a very long time ago with most logical thinking people. Who cares? You don't like the way it looks? Guess what? You're married. You shouldn't care what other women look like anyway. That's none of your goddamn business.
Okay? You don't get to say that. Tummy tucks and everything else. And a lot of people will come after me like, Josh, you had a surgery to lose weight. You're damn right I did. But it wasn't to look. It was because I was going to die if I didn't. You morons. There's a big difference also between like life-saving surgeries and injecting your face full of shit that's toxic.
True.
He first of all, fillers are not toxic unless you're going through like the black market and you're getting really sketchy things. Like, that's a completely different concern. But if you're going to a certified provider and they know what they're doing and all those kinds of things, like, and on top of it, this is not part of the conversation. We are here to talk about her accountability and racism. And we're talking about every little thing to pick her apart. You don't like the way that fillers look. She has big lips. She's going to have these kinds of appearances later on down the road. Fuck off. Who cares? It's none of your business. You're married. And I will say, if my husband was in the basement of our home looking at these women and circling boobs and, you know, hyper fixating on their physical appearances and talking to female subscribers behind the scenes, I would be a very unhappy fucking camper. I'll tell you that much.
Thrive. You pay attention to your digestive system, your mind, your muscle, your heart, your breathing. Your body rewards you, and I feel like, what's that saying? The harder the effort, the bigger the reward, or something like that. You know, you guys know what I'm
no
at. Stuff that feels
I'm fast forwarding the shit.
To do, you get so much more of or clothes or outfit or tidy up those toys, disinfect, having a nice tidy clean.
Getting a tidy clean space.
I have a messy house. My problems feel 10 times bigger when I have slept like
okay. I didn't see my house.
Rubbish. So
my problems must be huge. Go my house like. Pretty sure I broke a transformer this morning, stepping on it, and swore.
I feel like
maybe you should get your ass out of the fucking basement and help your wife clean the house then.
if I'm already sad and don't want to get up in the morning, then I really feel like I actually physically can't get up in the morning. Put on a podcast, or put on some of your favourite music, do the washing, dust that side table, tidy
Please be on.
up those toys, disinfect your kitchen side. Be strict with yourself at being in bed by 9 p.m.
Where's this baby?
If that's what you need to do, or 8 p.m. Sometimes
nothing good here.
To sleep, which is 7 p.m. in the evening. I'm like, can't.
You don't have to say, okay. You do not to say 7 p.m. in the evening, or 7 p.m. at night, or 7 a.m. in the morning. The a.m. or p.m., whichever you've said, does indicate which time of the day it is. So just want to make sure people stop doing redundancy like that, because that bothers me.
Even if you don't go to bed straight away, you spend that time meditating or reading or scrolling.
All right, I'm not going to keep you guys here any longer. Listening to him for too long when he's on these, extremely toxic, vile rampages that he goes on, picking the way someone looks apart. Like when he's on that avenue with commentary, which is most of the time, I can only take him for smaller doses. At the end of the video, if there's any additional clips that I want you guys to see, I will include them at the very end. But I really wanted to show this because it's just another example of him being a massive hypocrite. And this is the problem. If you're gonna stand on your platform and say, she's racist, she should be canceled, she's the worst person, she doesn't deserve to come back and get any views or get any success, fine. But let's also not completely ignore the fact that not that long ago, probably about a year ago, he was on a podcast saying how he was scared of Black people. And when he's called out and when things are brought to his attention, like adding to the exploitation of children by showing a young girl's crotch on his channel and still not getting rid of that section of the video, adding other clips of other kids, adding to the exploitation of those kids, all of these kinds of things, there are massive red flags and big concerns that have been brought to him by his own subscribers, and they are shut down, shut out, blocked, or just argued with. And that's a problem. And no commentary channel should be expected to turn a blind eye and not talk about him. So either way, that's going to be it for now. If you are someone who gets lip fillers, or you've had liposuction or BBL or whatever, don't ever listen to someone like Josh and allow him to make you feel terrible for something that you did to help your own self-esteem. You know, and at the end of the day, he can call his surgery life-saving. I think that it came down to a self-esteem thing, because he has said before that he was really depressed and really unhappy during that period of time leading up to his surgery. And the whole thing is it's not a problem that he got it done. It's the problem of him pointing the finger at other people who have had work done. So it's the same thing. It's like he's constantly pointing his finger at people for things that he is himself. So why don't we just focus on the fact that she did not present the work that should have been presented? Maybe he should just stay away from calling out other people that are racist until he shows some accountability for his own words and actions. So for now, if you like the video, leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.